Before we say anything else, I need you to do something. Stop. Yes, right now. Whatever you're doing, stop. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat, that rhythm, that pulse. That is time moving through you. And if you can feel it, that means you are still here, which means you still have time. And this moment is an opportunity. Most people miss moments like this. They go back to scrolling, back to distractions, back to the same routine, shrinking their potential. Not you. Not this time. Are you actually living your life or just occupying space until it's over? Stay here. We're going deep, lesson by lesson, truth by truth. Let's begin. Time is your life. Stop bleeding it away. You are not killing time. Time is quietly killing you. Every second that passes is not neutral. It is a piece of your existence that will never return, gone. Life is rarely destroyed in dramatic explosions. It disappears in small, comfortable leaks. One extra episode, one unnecessary scroll, one postponed decision, and suddenly 10 years are gone. What did you actually do yesterday? Not what you meant to do, what did you do? Now multiply that by 365. That is your year. Time loss doesn't hurt immediately. There's no alarm, no flashing warning sign. Time is not just a resource. It is your life in measurable form. Cut one useless hour per day. Replace it with something that builds you. One focused hour per day equals 365 hours per year. That's over 9 full work weeks of self-investment. Time can be your greatest ally or your silent executioner. Respect your hours, guard them, use them. Your life is being spent. Are you spending it on purpose? Stop blaming. Start building. Your life, as it stands right now, is largely the result of your decisions. Blame feels powerful for a moment, but it makes you a spectator in your own life. Every time you say, "I can't because of them," you transfer control. You transfer your future. Blame is emotional relief. Responsibility is transformation. When you blame, you wait. When you take responsibility, you move. Look at Oprah Winfrey. She built a legacy. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you always control what you do next. If no one was coming to save you, what would you do differently? You don't need permission. You can start building today. Write down 3 things you've been blaming. Now write, what is one action I can take regardless? Building does not start with a masterpiece. It starts with a decision, and then a discipline, and then a repetition. Stop asking, why did this happen to me? Start asking, what am I going to build from this? Stay a victim of circumstances, or become the architect of your future. The moment you stop blaming is the moment you become dangerous. Now build. Your comfort zone is a beautiful prison. Escape it. Comfort doesn't look dangerous. It smiles. You wake up, you grab your phone, you scroll. Tomorrow, same pattern. Comfort is not dramatic destruction. It is quiet stagnation. It slowly shrinks you. Growth requires tension. Muscles grow under resistance. Character grows under pressure. The longer you stay comfortable, the more uncomfortable growth becomes. Your comfort zone is not just a habit, it's an identity. Everything you admire in others was built outside comfort. Your current life is a circle. Outside that circle, uncertainty, but also freedom. Most people stand at the edge of that circle their entire lives. They look out, but they never step. If nothing in your life changes for the next 5 years, are you proud of that? That discomfort is awareness, and awareness is the first crack in the prison wall. Every day, choose one action that stretches you. Feel the resistance. Stay anyway. Your comfort zone will never voluntarily release you. You must walk out. Comfort is beautiful, but growth is glorious. Choose wisely. "I'll do it later" is the most expensive lie you tell yourself. "I'll do it later" feels small, feels harmless.
Dreams don't usually die from failure. They die from delay. Later is not a time. It's a comfort word. It's fear wearing polite clothes. Think of one thing you said later to 2 years ago. Where is it now? Imagine you had started badly 2 years ago. Where would you be today? That gap you feel? That gap is built out of postponed decisions. Later feels safe, but it charges interest. You don't need motivation first. You need movement first. Stop asking, when should I start? Start asking, why not now? Imperfect action builds momentum. Momentum builds identity. Right after this, choose the one thing you've delayed the longest. Set a timer for 10 minutes and begin. The hardest part of any journey is not the middle, it's the start. Later keeps you stuck in imagination. Now moves you into reality. Kill the word. Remove it from your vocabulary. Not tomorrow, now. Stop thinking. Start executing. I was not stuck. I was addicted to thinking. I convinced myself that research was progress. Information feels like movement, but it is not. Thinking without action is mental entertainment. Overthinking is fear disguised as preparation. By the time you finish thinking, you are emotionally exhausted before you even begin. Clarity comes from doing more. They study workout plans, but they never lift a weight. Preparation feels safe. Execution feels exposed. But growth happens in exposure. You will never feel ready. Action creates confidence. Limit thinking. 10 minutes to outline, then move. Close the tabs. Silence the inputs. Produce output. Send the message. Launch the draft. Make the call. Messy, imperfect, real. Momentum is physical. It responds to motion. Stop trying to feel ready. Start trying to be brave. Less analysis, more action. Less consumption, more creation. Thinking builds fantasies, but action builds reality. Be the standard, not the exception. In every room, there is one person who moves differently. While others negotiate with their alarms, they rise. At first, nobody notices. They are doubted, mocked. But years pass, and suddenly the gap appears. The disciplined one now owns the room.
Most people fail because they accept average effort from themselves. Stop trying to be impressive. Start trying to be consistent. Legacy is built in private repetition. Reputation is formed daily. Legacy is reputation multiplied by years. You versus your limit. That voice in your head, it negotiates. Skip today. Do it halfway. That's good enough. The real battle is internal tolerance. Every time you let yourself slide, you teach your brain a rule. Self-discipline is about raising your floor. Your ceiling is your best day. Your floor is your worst day. Winners raise their floor. For 30 days, track one behavior. When you track behavior, you confront truth. This is you versus the version of you that settles. Your feelings are temporary. Your decisions are permanent. They change hourly. Motivation rises. Motivation crashes. Energy spikes. Energy disappears. High mood day, you work hard. Low mood day, you disappear. That is not power. That is instability. Professionals do not wait to feel ready. They operate on schedule. Amateurs wait for inspiration. High performers respect structure. Your brain is designed to avoid discomfort. Willpower is the override switch. Small, repeated acts of self-control rewire your identity. Each act sends a signal. I control me. Discipline is not restriction. It is freedom. You are not training the habit. You are training the decider inside you. Comparison is identity erosion. It does not scream, it whispers. You open your phone, scroll, pause, and suddenly your life feels smaller. Not because it is small, but because you placed it next to someone else's peak moment. Here's the distortion. You are seeing their results. You are living your process. They post the victory. You live the struggle. They show the celebration. You feel the work.
Comparison steals joy because it shifts your focus from building to measuring. And growth dies when energy moves from action to evaluation. There will always be someone ahead of you. The real metric is internal. Are you sharper than last month? More disciplined than last year? More focused than yesterday? That is the only scoreboard that matters. You are comparing your backstage to someone else's stage performance. Here is your reset. Build, improve, execute. Because confidence does not grow from watching others win. It grows from stacking your own wins. And once you are locked into your lane, comparison becomes irrelevant because you are too busy progressing to observe. Your environment is not just physical, it's informational. The voices you allow into your mind shape your courage, your risk tolerance, your ambition. And most people are unknowingly borrowing fear. Someone who never built anything calls your dream unrealistic. Someone who never left comfort calls your ambition reckless. Someone who settled calls your hunger excessive. They are not evil. They are projecting. Advice is always filtered through personal experience, but safe advice rarely creates extraordinary outcomes. Before accepting direction, ask, has this person achieved what I am pursuing? Have they taken the risks, paid the price, endured the setbacks? If yes, listen carefully. If not, respect them, but do not surrender your steering wheel. Your vision is fragile in the early stages. Guard it, not emotionally, strategically. Curate your inputs. Books from proven builders, mentors with real scars, content from people who execute, not just comment. Because exposure determines expansion. And if you surround yourself with ceilings, you will shrink to fit them. Choose voices that stretch you, challenge you, demand more from you. Your future is influenced daily by who you allow to speak into it. Choose carefully. Self-selection is power. Most people are waiting to be noticed, waiting to be validated, waiting to be invited, waiting to feel ready. But the world does not operate on waiting. It responds to visibility. It rewards initiative. It amplifies movement. Nobody is scanning the crowd, looking for hidden potential to rescue. Opportunity does not knock quietly. It responds to those already in motion. Rejection is not proof you are unworthy. It is proof you are visible. J.K. Rowling was rejected 12 times before one publisher said yes. 12 closed doors. But she did not interpret rejection as identity. She interpreted it as filtering. Every no removed the wrong gate until the right one opened. You do not wait to be chosen. You decide you belong. You apply before you feel qualified. You publish before you feel polished. You build before you feel confident. Because confidence is not a prerequisite. It is a byproduct. Most people are invisible because they are waiting for certainty. The ones who rise, they move without it. Stop asking, will they accept me? Start asking, am I willing to keep showing up? Visibility creates probability. Probability creates opportunity. Opportunity changes trajectory. But none of it happens if you stay seated. Choose yourself. Not once, repeatedly, until the world has no option but to notice. Comfort has a cost. Safety feels intelligent, calculated, responsible. But extended comfort slowly becomes confinement. Every avoided risk feels small in the moment. I'll wait. Not now. Maybe later. But later compounds. Years pass, and the avoided chances stack quietly. Risk is uncomfortable, but stagnation is invisible decay. Failure hurts, rejection stings, embarrassment fades, regret embeds. Why? Because failure is an event. Regret is a narrative. It follows you. It rewrites your confidence. It whispers, you could have. Most people fear losing. Very few fear not trying. But the greatest long-term damage comes from inaction. You rarely regret the risks you took. You regret the risks you postponed. The conversation you avoided, the idea you never launched, the move you never made. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action taken despite it. Risk expands capacity. Every bold move increases tolerance. Every uncomfortable step redefines your identity. You stop seeing yourself as fragile. You start seeing yourself as capable. This week, choose one calculated risk. Not reckless, calculated. Send the proposal. Have the hard conversation. Start the project publicly. Then observe what happens. Even if the outcome is imperfect, your identity shifts, and identity is more valuable than outcome, because outcomes fade. Identity compounds. And the person who acts boldly builds a life with stories, not explanations. Time is moving, with or without you. There is no dramatic countdown clock, no warning sound, no announcement. Just quiet movement, days turning into weeks, weeks into years, and progress, or stagnation, compounding silently. Time does not wait for clarity. It does not pause for confidence. It does not negotiate with fear. It advances. The dangerous illusion is this: I still have time. Yes, you do, but unused time expires unnoticed. 5 years will pass. The question is not whether they will pass. The question is, who will you be when they do? Most people delay action because they want certainty. But certainty is a reward, not a starting condition. You do not see the full staircase. You see one step, and that step is enough. The right time is rarely comfortable. It's rarely convenient. It's usually inconvenient and slightly uncomfortable. That's why most people wait, and waiting feels harmless, until one day you measure your life in missed attempts. Instead of asking, "Am I ready?" ask, "Am I willing to learn on the way?" Because readiness is built through motion, and direction is corrected through action. Make one decision today that aligns with who you want to become. Small, concrete, immediate. Time will pass anyway. Let it pass with evidence that you moved. You are not the center of everyone's attention, and that's liberating. Most hesitation comes from imagined scrutiny. What will they think? What if I look foolish? What if I fail publicly? But observe reality. Everyone is preoccupied with their deadlines, their insecurities, their responsibilities, their own image. You are not being studied. You are being briefly noticed and quickly forgotten. The spotlight you fear barely exists. Embarrassment has a short shelf life. Regret does not. Once you accept that people are mostly focused on themselves, something shifts. You stop performing, you start executing. You stop polishing endlessly, you start publishing. Freedom is not the absence of judgment, it is indifference to it. Attention is temporary. Reputation is built over time, and most critics are spectators. If someone does judge you, it changes nothing. So act. Post the idea. Launch imperfectly. Speak clearly. Attempt visibly. Because in 10 years, no one will remember your awkward beginning, but you will remember whether you had the courage to start, and that memory will either strengthen you or follow you quietly. Why not now? Pause for a second. Remove emotion. Remove excuses. Remove storytelling. What is the real reason you have not started? Most delays are disguised fear, but preparation without execution becomes procrastination in disguise. If nothing changes, what exactly are you waiting for? Courage appears after action. Clarity appears during action. Confidence appears because of action. Action is not the reward, it is the requirement. Growth always feels unstable at first. That instability is not a warning, it is a signal you are stretching. Right now, there is something you could do that would move you forward. Open the document, send the message, submit the form, make the call. One action shifts identity. Momentum does not start with motivation, it starts with movement. So again, why not now? If the answer is not life-threatening, it is negotiable. And negotiable fear should never outrank your potential. Your life is a reflection, not a sentence. Look around carefully. Your schedule, your income, your body, your relationships, your peace of mind. None of it appeared randomly. It is the accumulated result of repeated choices. Habits compound, standards compound, tolerance compounds, and the outcome is what you are currently living. That realization can feel heavy, but it is also empowering. Because if behavior built this version, behavior can build the next one. You are not stuck, you are patterned, and patterns can be redesigned. Change does not require drama, it requires interruption. Interrupt the routine, interrupt the environment, interrupt the identity you keep rehearsing. If you keep telling yourself, this is just who I am, you freeze growth. Instead, ask, who am I becoming if I continue like this? That question creates urgency without panic. Choose one domain: health, career, environment, circle. Define it clearly as it is. Then define it clearly as it could be 6 months from now with disciplined action. Then begin with one structural shift. Wake up earlier. Change your workspace. Replace one habit. Distance yourself from one draining influence. Do not wait for rock bottom. Transformation is cleaner when chosen voluntarily. You are not a passenger. You are the architect, and architects redesign before collapse. Expectations can become invisible chains. Many people are not stuck because they lack ability. They're stuck because they are loyal to a script they did not write. Family expectations, cultural expectations, social definitions of success. Stable job, predictable path, minimal risk, external approval. From the outside, it looks responsible. From the inside, it can feel suffocating. The danger of expectations is not that they are loud, it is that they become normal. You stop questioning them, you inherit them, and then you defend them as if they were your own. If nobody had an opinion about your life, what would you pursue? Write down 3 expectations you feel pressured to meet. Then, write what you would choose if fear of disappointment did not exist. Where there is tension, there is truth. Courage rarely appears dramatically. It appears in small deviations. You do not owe the world a performance. You owe yourself authenticity. And living misaligned is far more exhausting than disappointing others. Pain is data. Most people try to erase painful experiences, hide them, deny them, minimize them. But pain carries information. It exposes weakness, reveals patterns, clarifies boundaries, builds resilience. Suffering alone does not create strength. Reflection does. If you went through heartbreak, you learned standards. If you faced rejection, you learned detachment. If you endured failure, you learned adaptation. Those lessons are assets. Your scars are not proof of damage, they are proof of endurance. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what advantage did this build in me? Pain becomes power when it transforms into perspective, and perspective sharpens decision-making. You are not defined by what hurt you. You are defined by what you built from it. Use it, channel it, let it refine you, not reduce you. Attention is currency, and most people spend it carelessly. Notifications, endless scrolling, random content, constant interruption. Every distraction fragments momentum. Every interruption resets depth. And depth is where meaningful work happens. Focus is not intensity, it is protection. Protection of time, protection of energy, protection of intention. If you gave one goal a full year of consistent, protected focus, the result would shock you. Small, disciplined effort, repeated daily, creates exponential outcomes. But distraction feels harmless. It's just 5 minutes. It's just one video. Multiply that by 365 days. Now measure the cost. Identify your 3 biggest attention leaks, then create rules, not wishes. Make it structural, not emotional, because focus is not about willpower alone. It's about design. The person who controls their attention controls their direction, and direction, over time, becomes destiny. If you made it this far, you are not average. You are searching for clarity, for strength, for direction. Maybe right now things feel uncertain.
financial pressure, emotional weight, health concerns, doubt about the future. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're in motion. Growth rarely feels glamorous. It feels heavy before it feels rewarding. You are not behind. You are building. Every difficult season is shaping capacity. And one day, you will look back at this chapter and realize it refined you. Keep going. Not dramatically, consistently. Protect your dream, even if it's still small. Work quietly. Improve daily. Stay disciplined. You don't yet understand what you are capable of. Capacity reveals itself only to those who continue. So move forward with ownership, with courage, with standards. The future is not waiting to rescue you. It is waiting to reward you. Go build something your future self will respect.